We call to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Opperly.
Here.
Barton.
Here?
Butterfield.
Here.
Handback.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Spar.
Here.
Warren. We have a quorum.
Okay, could we have approval of the minutes, please?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
We have a second?
I'll second. Joe, second.
Okay.
Voice vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Approved.
Okay. This evening, we have a couple cases to look at. The first case, number 16-22, Mr. Bobby Hembrick will not be here, but we still need to vote on it. So could I at least have a vote, please?
It'd be procedurally appropriate for there to be a motion and a second to approve the variance, and since the petitioner's not here, technically it's a scenario of default. The petitioner has to be here to present their case. Our standard practice is there's always a motion second to approve, and you would vote it. My recommendation is, because the petitioner's not here, you would vote it down, so there'd be no votes on that motion.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 16-22 as stated under 1010-2C.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Vote, please.
Vote. Butterfield.
Aye.
Handback.
No.
Jones.
No.
Spar.
No.
Opperly.
No.
Barton.
No. Cases have been turned down. We'll proceed to the next case. It's case number 17-03. Al Viney is requesting a variance to install a generator at 623 Hickory Ridge Drive, Zone R1. Petitioner seeks a variance of required setback of 12 feet to 8 feet, resulting in a variance of 4 feet. Mr. Viney, could you be sworn in, please?
Is our court
Right.
reporter on?
Right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do my notice before he goes.
Oh, yeah. We have a notice that we'd like to have our attorney present first, please.
Public hearings are being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to address the zoning board will be sworn in by our court reporter, will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the zoning board of appeals will make its determination. 4 yes votes are required to obtain its approval. For variation, the zoning board's task is to determine whether an applicant meets certain legal requirements. The variation procedure is not intended to evaluate whether a proposed variance is a good idea. The zoning board of appeals cannot grant a variance unless it finds the evidence presented before it proves certain criteria set forth in the village code, including factors like the existence of a particular hardship caused by the physical surroundings, shape, or topographical conditions of the property, those conditions being unique to the property for which the variance is sought, the variance not being based exclusively on desire for financial gain, difficulty or hardship being caused by the provisions of the village code and not by a person having an interest in the property. Unless the zoning board finds that all of these criteria are met, the zoning board cannot by law grant the applicant a variance. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and proceed then, Al.
All right. I've done 3 PowerPoint presentations in the last 11 years, all for this room. So my skills are a little bit out of practice, but I'll try and get through it for you. This is what I'm going to kind of talk to you about a little bit, background and why I'm doing it, what I want to do, and a request location options, noise impact, a little bit of a summary. Roger. My sump pump runs nonstop in storms and in wet weather. The tribal knowledge of my neighbor says that there was a pond behind our property on Maple Ridge, and there was one on the south side of Hickory Ridge back in the day when he moved in 30 years ago, and that there's some blue clay in between, but I have about 30 minutes of time from the time the power goes off until I have a wet basement, finished basement like all of us. So that's what my problem is that I'm trying to solve. Roger? As you folks may know, the power comes in on high lines up North Morton Avenue. Believe it or not, there are electrical lines right there coming through the trees. We get ice, we get wind, we get snow, we get branches coming down, no power. And then when that happens, the police close off the road at Lakeview Drive, and it's 3/4 of a mile from there to the house. So what I'm attempting to do is put a standby generator in, so if the power's off and it kicks in and my sump pumps get taken care of. Next, Roger. This is essentially what I plan to do. The red arrow points out the Generac generator and what it would look like. Virtually identical going into the spot I'll show you in a minute. My air conditioner happens to be in the same location, and I haven't got gas in the house, so the gas is, we'll have to have that put in. But it would be similar to that on the right-hand side of the air conditioner. This is on the west side of my house. The air conditioner is just barely visible on the right-hand side, looking at putting the generator right in that corner, a little bit north of the air conditioner and tight into the wall. And now this is the kind of the eyeball of the variance. The white line in the center is my lot line. From the wall to the lot line is 12 feet, and the setback ordinance is 12 feet, right, Roger?
Correct.
So if I put the generator in there, it sits on a slab and it needs 4 feet. So I've got an 8-foot distance from the outside of the generator to the lot line. That's a little bit of where the footprint would be. The air conditioner's in the back. The air conditioner sticks out 55 inches, so it would be out about 7 inches past what the generator is. The options that I have for it come around the corner. Now, my wife is going to kill me if she knows I put these slides up there, but it's the spring and that we haven't cleaned up yet and that type of thing. Let's see, this is the northwest corner of the house. The generator would be about where the patio is there, just around the corner. We've got a patio, we have utilities going back to the porch. My wife has some gardens there. That's an optional location. This looks to the northeast corner of the home, and that's behind the garage. Jim Morton had a basketball court there when he had the house. Possibility of putting it there, but you've got a lot of concrete to work your way through. And over on this side of the house, there's a tree there, maybe a little bit more difficult to run the natural gas in. Okay. The generator runs a 12-minute cycle once a week as a test. They run at a reduced RPM, so there's not much noise to it. The loudness is somewhere between a dishwasher running and a lawnmower. And what I'm proposing doing is putting it in the corner there. The noise comes off, hits Jim's wall, and up and out of the way. So it kind of muffles the sound of it there and keeps it down. Bounces off my neighbor's garage wall, up and away. I've talked to Jim about this. None of my neighbors are here tonight, so that kind of gives you an indication of their interest in it. And he has asked me to tuck the generator down as close to the air conditioner as possible to keep the noise away from the back of his house. One more, Roger? If I put it on the back there in front of those sliding glass doors, now I've got noise going straight to the northeast neighbor. He's at the corner of Maple Ridge and North Morton Avenue. This is actually the third house in on Maple Ridge, straight across there. And from behind my house, it would go across to Jim's patio deck and living area there. So I think from the spirit of the law, tucking it on the side of the house is a little quieter than putting it to the back of the house for the neighbors. And that's kind of my presentation on it. Requesting approval for a 4-foot variance to install a generator in the west end of our house and install it that way.
Any questions from the board?
Hey, I'm just curious, and I don't see a problem with this personally. Do you know, they do test those once a week?
Yep.
Can you set it for a specific time to where they can do it, so it's not like going off at 2 or 3 in the morning?
Yeah, I think the contractor is an electrician out of Eureka. I think it's programmable for any time.
Okay. I was thinking
It
that it
is,
was.
it is, ours is.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, that, I think that'd be fine.
And I think what he talked to me about was mid-morning on Wednesdays.
There you go.
And it's 12 minutes reduced RPM quieter.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's the only question I had.
Okay.
Anything else, folks?
Any other questions?
Good presentation.
Yeah, great presentation, Al.
Almost got approved, Mark.
There you go. Good job, Al. If there are no other questions, could we have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 17-03 under 1010-2C as stated.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, could we call for a vote, please?
Handback.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Spar.
Yes.
Opperly.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Butterfield.
Yes.
Al, it's approved, so go ahead and install it at your convenience. Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you
Good
very
job.
much, folks. You want, Mark's apparently got one in his house. And,
He's closer to me on mine if the power goes off. Otherwise, I'd be at your house.
I'll share whatever I learn about this process if you're interested.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Okay. The next case we have is 17-4. Dan Neep is unable to be here this evening, so we're going to continue this. He's asked to have it continued, and Rogers said that was an idea that he felt was okay. So we're going to need a motion to continue this case.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we table case number 17-04.
I'll second that.
And just want to add that we're going to continue to the next meeting, right, Roger?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
the March meeting.
Yeah. Okay, could we call for a vote, please?
Spar.
Yes.
Opperly.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Butterfield.
Yes.
Handback.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Okay, it's been approved and continue for next month. The last case we have this evening, 17-05, Bart Ringenberger has withdrawn, so there'll be no more cases in that reference to that. Do we have any other questions from the board or Roger or?
The only thing I would like to say is I want to welcome Kurt Butterfield to
Right.
the Zoning Board of Appeals, and I'm sure he'll do a fine job. We have some history.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't want to go into that.
That's all I have.
Okay. With that, we need a motion to adjourn then.
So moved. Second.
Second.
please.
Can do a voice vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?